Listen to me closely. If you want to change your life, wake up early. Not just from your sleep, but from your slumber of indecision, fear, and wasted potential. The world doesn't reward those who hit snooze on their purpose. It rewards those who rise before the sun, armed with clarity, purpose, and desire. When you wake up early, you're not just gaining time.
You're gaining power.
You're stepping ahead of the crowd. You're moving while the rest of the world is still sleeping on their dreams. Taught us that every success begins with a definite chief aim, a purpose so clear that it pulls you out of bed with fire in your soul. And the early morning is when that fire burns the brightest, when distractions are few, and your mind is most aligned with your vision. Let others wait for the perfect moment. You create it at 5 a.m., you build your empire while the world still dreams of theirs. In the quiet of the morning, you meet your thoughts, you plan, you prepare. You condition your mind for success before the noise of the day tries to derail your momentum. Hill believed in the power of autosuggestion, feeding your mind with belief and vision. And when better to speak your affirmations, to visualize your future, to design your destiny, than in those sacred early hours. The man or woman who controls the morning controls the outcome their entire day. And the one who controls their day one day at a time controls their life. You say you want to be successful? Then prove it. Set your alarm. Beat the sun. Beat your excuses. Do not let comfort rob you of your calling. Each morning you rise early as a vote for discipline, for self-respect, for your future. You will not always feel like it. But success never asked if you feel like it. It demands that you rise. It demands that you rise anyway. And once you do, once you rise, once you push through, you'll feel unstoppable. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, don't ask how you feel. Ask how bad you want it. Ask what kind of person you promised yourself you'd become. Because success is not found in the big moments, big is forged in the small decisions, repeated daily. Like the decision to wake up and own the morning, rise early, think clearly, move with purpose, and watch your life transform. Control the morning, control your life. This simple truth holds the secret to extraordinary success. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Always, if you begin with purpose, focus, and energy, you carry those qualities into your decisions, actions, and results. But if you start in chaos, delay, and disorganization, your day is easily lost before it even begins. In his timeless wisdom, emphasized the power of thought, discipline, and definiteness of purpose. And there is no better time to align with those principles than in the first hours of the morning. The early morning is a sacred window. It is the moment when the world is quiet and your mind is most open to influence. There are no distractions, no demands, no noise. It's just you, your thoughts, and your goals. Successful people understand this. They don't wake up early by accident. They do it by design. They know that in the early hours, they can plan, reflect, read, and visualize without interruption. They use that time to set their mental and emotional state so that the rest of the day follows their intention, not random circumstance. When you wake up early, you take ownership of your time. You're not reacting to life, you're creating it. You get to choose how you think, what you feed your mind, what you do first, and what direction you move in. That kind of power is not available to those who wake up late, rush into the day, and let external forces shape their mood and mindset. Early mornings are where confidence is built. When you rise with discipline, when you do the work before the world even moves, you earn a deep sense of respect for yourself. That respect for yourself, that respect turns into confidence. And confidence turns into momentum. Most people chase time, but those who control the morning stay ahead of time. They don't complain about having no hours in the day because they create extra hours while others are still asleep. Those hours become an advantage used to grow, learn, build, and plan. Waking up early is not just a routine. It's a commitment to becoming the kind of person who doesn't wait for success, but wakes up and goes after it. It's a statement to the world that you are serious about your life, your goals, and your destiny. Control your morning and you will find yourself controlling your thoughts. Control your thoughts and you will control your actions. Control your actions consistently and you will control your results. And once you control your results, You've taken control of your entire life. It all begins with the decision to rise early, not just from sleep, but from doubt, delay, and mediocrity. The morning is your foundation. Build it strong, and your life will follow. Discipline begins at dawn because the early hours of the day reveal who you truly are. When the world is still asleep, when no one is watching, and when comfort whispers in your ear to stay in bed, it is your discipline that makes the decision, not your feelings, not your excuses, not your distractions. And that decision shapes your destiny. Taught that success does not come by chance or luck. It is the result of consistent, intentional habits practiced over time. And among all habits, discipline stands as the master key. Without it, even the best plans fail. With it, even average talent can produce greatness. The early morning is the battlefield where discipline is either forged or lost. The alarm clock is more than a device. It's a test. It challenges your willpower. It asks, how bad do you want the life you say you desire? Each time you choose to rise early, you strengthen the muscle of self-control. And the stronger that muscle becomes, the more power you have to shape your habits, your mind, and your future. Most people live in reaction. They wake up late, rush through the day, and blame circumstances for their lack of progress. But disciplined individuals rise before the demands of the day begin. They create before they consume. They lead their time rather than letting time lead them. That proactive spirit creates an invisible momentum that carries them through the toughest challenges. Discipline in the morning sets the tone for every other discipline. If you can conquer the temptation to stay comfortable in bed, you are more likely to conquer the temptation to procrastinate, to give in to distraction, or to avoid hard work later in the day. It becomes a domino effect, small wins stacking into bigger ones. The morning is when you build mental armor. It's when you train your thoughts, set your goals, review your mission, and act with clarity. No great leader, creator, or entrepreneur built their legacy by sleeping in. They built it by getting up with purpose while the world was silent and still. You don't need motivation to wake up early. You need commitment. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But commitment, driven by discipline, is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. And the truth is, most mornings you won't feel like getting up, but you do it anyway. That's the very essence of discipline, doing what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline begins at dawn, not because morning is magical, but because it is yours. It is uncontested time, time where you have the choice to build your mind, strengthen your body, and fuel your spirit. If you win those first hours, you win the entire day. And if you win your days consistently, you win at life. So rise early, take command of your habits, lead yourself when no one is watching, because that is where real success is born, in the quiet hours through disciplined action repeated daily. Silence fuels clarity and purpose because it creates the space where the noise of the world fades and the voice within grows louder. In silence, you hear your thoughts more clearly. You reconnect with what matters. You slow down long enough to reflect, to question, and to align your actions with your purpose. In a world filled with constant noise, notifications, opinions, expectations, silence becomes a rare and powerful weapon. When you wake up early and embrace silence, you are stepping away from distraction and stepping into direction. The early morning hours are not just quiet, they are sacred. This is the time when your mind is untouched by the chaos of the day. It is open, calm, and focused. In that stillness, you can think deeply about your goals, your values, and the path you're walking. Emphasize the importance of having a definite chief aim, a clear and focused purpose that drives all your actions. But to discover that aim and to keep it at the center of your life, you must make time for silence. You must create moments where the only thing that speaks is your inner voice. That voice doesn't shout, it whispers, and it can only be heard when everything else quiets down. Silence is not emptiness, it is clarity. It removes the fog of doubt and confusion. It helps you filter out the opinions of others and focus on your own convictions. In silence, you are not reacting, you are listening. And what you listen to in those moments becomes the compass that guides your decisions. Purpose doesn't show up in the noise. It doesn't emerge while you're scrolling through your phone or racing through your schedule. Purpose is discovered in stillness. in asking yourself the hard questions. What do I want from this life? What impact do I want to make? Who am I becoming? The answers may not come all at once, but they begin to take shape in silence. Clarity is power. When you are clear about what you want, everything else becomes easier. Distractions lose their pull. Opportunities become easier to recognize. You stop chasing everything and start building something. But that clarity must be renewed daily. And the best time to do that is in the early morning hours when silence gives your mind room to breathe. In silence, you can visualize your future, review your goals, and write down your intentions. You can pray, meditate, or simply breathe. These acts are not small, they are foundational. They sharpen your focus, strengthen your spirit, and prepare you to face the day with intention. So protect the silence. Wake up early not just to get more done, but to get more aligned. Make silence a habit. Let it be the space where your clarity is born and your purpose is renewed. Because when you begin each day with stillness and vision, you walk through the world with direction, and that is the beginning of true success. Start before the world wakes, and you will discover a hidden advantage that few are willing to claim. In those early hours, while others are still lost in sleep, you step into a world of opportunity, silence, and head start. This time is not just about rising early, it's about rising ahead. It's about choosing to lead your day instead of letting the day lead you. When you start before the world wakes, you're not competing, you're creating. You are not bombarded with emails, phone calls, or distractions. The world is quiet, and in that quiet, there is power. It is in those undisturbed moments that ideas are born, focus is sharpened, and plans are made with precision. It is when your thoughts are clearest and your energy is fresh. Taught us that success is the result of deliberate actions rooted in purpose. And one of the most effective ways to act deliberately is to start your day while others are still in bed. In doing so, you claim your time, your peace, and your purpose before the noise of the world arrives to take it away. Most people wake up and immediately react. They react to alarms, to stress, to deadlines, to pressure. But when you start before the world wakes, you're not reacting, you're initiating. You set your tone, you choose your thoughts, you decide your direction. That is a powerful difference. This habit sends a message to your subconscious mind. I'm in control. I am committed. I am serious about my goals. Up, that internal message turns into belief, and belief fuels confidence. Over time, this confidence becomes an unstoppable force that propels you forward. Imagine this, two people with the same goal, the same intelligence, and the same potential. One begins the day late, scrambling, stressed, trying to catch up. The other begins early, calm, focused, already taking action while the world sleeps. Who do you think wins in the long run? The answer is obvious. Success does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who prepare. Starting early allows you to master your morning rituals, whether it's exercise, journaling, planning, reading, or visualizing. These are not just tasks. They are investments in your mindset, your health, and your future. They give you clarity, energy, and a sense of purpose that carries through the entire day. It's not always easy. There will be mornings when your bed feels more inviting than your goals. But those are the moments that count the most. Every time you rise before the world, you are separating yourself from the average. You are proving to yourself that your dreams matter more than your comfort. So don't wait for the world to wake up. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. Start before the world wakes, and you will find that every morning gives you a new chance to get ahead, not just of others, but of who you were yesterday. Hey,